Hey guys, welcome to another Coach's Corner. This time we're talking about workout strategy. So this is applicable whether you're following Thrive and doing dumbbells or whether you're doing individual design and you've got barbells going. This is just kind of a time to stop and reflect on how we can approach different types of workouts and how to maximize the benefit and the efficiency. So first of all, the example I like to use is with running. It's a lot easier to kind of see how you would approach different events at the track. So if you were going to run 100 meters, that's like full out dead sprint, best in the world, I think is sub 10 seconds now. It's crazy. That's your max. Then we've got a 400 meters, so that's one loop around the track. You can probably have a good idea on how fast you would push if you're going as fast as possible to make the 400. Then you compare that with your 1 kilometer time, your 10 kilometer time, etc. So if you went out for your 10 kilometer race and the first 100 meters you did at your 100 meter pace, you know what would happen. You would burn out. It won't end well. So there's a lot we can glean from that for the regular functional fitness workouts that we do. But it does have more layers in it because it depends what movement you're doing, how many reps, what the time domain is, a lot of different factors. So to me, that's one of the more exciting parts of doing fitness is the mental aspect of strategizing, finding out about yourself as an athlete, how to mature as an athlete, how to know your best pace for each movement and for each time domain. So the example I like to use is with burpee box jump overs. They're a very high cardio movement. So that's where you're doing a burpee and then you either jump or step up onto a box or a chair and you come off on the other side, do a burpee on that side. So there's a ton of scaling options with it, but just for the sake of consistency, let's just say as prescribed, you're jumping your feet out, you're jumping your feet in, you're jumping onto the box, you're jumping over the box. So heart rate is going to be super high for this movement. So knowing exactly how many burpees that you could do full out is a really important thing. Because if you take that speed and you add on 2 more burpee box jump overs, it's probably going to have an enormous effect on the rest of your workout. Whereas if it was something like skipping and you did 2 extra skips, not a big deal. So for me, I know that this one, 12 is my number. 12 is where I can go at a pretty hard pace. If once I hit 12, if it's a 20 burpee box jump over in a row workout, and I go out for those first 12, how I normally would, it's going to go downhill really fast. It's going to feel like lead legs trying to get them up and moving. So a good way to experiment with this is to do it Imam style. So you set a clock to beep each minute, and then you try and guess the first time what your sustainable number would be. So say we're using burpee box jump overs and you start at 4. You do 4 burpee box jump overs at a pretty hard pace, and then you stop and wait until it beeps again and see if you can sustain that for all 10 minutes. If that goes well, next time you might do 6, you might do 8. You try and find what that number is that you can push hard, but still be able to recover to be able to repeat the effort in the next minute. Okay, so to give just some tangible feedback on all the different movements that we use, here is my list, and yours might differ, but this gives a general idea. My list from what I need to pace the least to the most, and this is all within body weight only, so it applies to both groups. So bottom of the list is sit-ups, mountain climbers, jumping jacks. When you see these movements come up, most of us can, it doesn't really matter if you push harder or not, your recovery will be close to the same. So that being said, you can push pretty hard in these movements. You can go at what is a fast pace for you, and your recovery won't be that much longer. After that is air squats and lunges. So this one does have a bit of muscle stamina in there. So if you're someone whose legs get sore pretty easily, that will hold you back, and your list might be a little bit differently. For me, my legs don't tend to get sore too easily. So I know I can push pretty hard in air squats and lunges. And if I do 20 reps instead of 18, it's not going to be catastrophic to recover from it. After that is burpees. So burpees, now we're starting to get into more pacing. We have to be a little bit more mindful at how fast we're going out for our set of burpee versus how many reps there are. After that is box jumps. So box jumps, it's high heart rate, but also it's the stamina and the calves and the quads. And then burpees over the box or burpees over the bar. So the example I gave before. And then top of the list, I would say, is running, rowing, and biking. So these ones you can definitely go out in too hard of a pace and take a long time to have to recover from it. Okay. So those are all body weight examples. Okay, so I'm just looking through my notes, covered all of that. Okay, so now when we apply these principles to dumbbell or barbell lifts, now it's more about how many reps to do unbroken and then how long to rest. So it's not necessarily the pace that does play a factor, but most dumbbell and barbell movements, you can't just kind of do a squat clean, like you have to extend your hips rapidly to get the barbell or dumbbell up to your shoulders. So it's more, can I put it down and pick it right back up again? Or do I need to put it down, rest, shake it out, and then pick it up? Okay, so again, an Imam 10 is a great way to test your capacity in this. So there's a lot of factors. For example, if you're a barbell athlete and you put on what is a lightweight for you, so maybe 65 pounds, maybe empty barbell, and then pick one lift and estimate your number. So usually doing 10 reps is a good starting point. Do 10 reps each minute. So 10 cleans or 10 snatches, 10 deadlifts. You'll go a little bit heavier for deadlift. Rest until it beeps again and then repeat. So it's a bit of a trial and error to find out what your exact pace is. But if you're mindful during workouts, so especially workouts that are like 5 rounds per time, where it's the same number of reps each time, just really monitor what your exertion level is, especially round 1 to round 3. Usually round 1, typically a newer athlete will go out too hot. And then by round 3, you go, oh, that was a mistake. So really like pay attention to those times and write down notes, whatever helps you remember. And then reapproach. So when you come back to a workout that has 10 clean and jerks, 5 rounds per time, think back to that first one. Think about, okay, I'm going to do sets of 3, put the bar down, count to 3, pick the bar up, sets of 3, count to 3, whatever the strategy is. And then you just keep fine tuning it from there. Okay. So, and then you can generally get like if the barbell weight is in this range, I know I can do 15 to 20 unbroken reps. So typically for myself with a barbell, 65 pounds, 15 to 20 reps unbroken, I can recover from. Now, if the barbell is 95 pounds, it's the 8 to 12 rep range. If the barbell is 105 pounds or higher, 3 to 5 reps, depending on the movement. Obviously, deadlift to snatch, that's going to be different. And then anything above that is quick singles. And I'm a big fan of quick singles. Sometimes people think, oh, you got to go unbroken, you got to go unbroken. But if you're recovering all the way through and you're putting the bar down, shaking out, picking it up, that's a great strategy. So all this does apply to dumbbells as well, especially if you have gone a range of dumbbells. If you just have one set of weights for dumbbells, then more of the body weight movements I was talking about, more of the strategy with that will be what you're basing it on, because it's more about your cardiorespiratory system than your muscle fatigue. So if you've got 50-pound dumbbells, then you're going to be thinking about it in number of reps. If you've got 10-pound dumbbells, then you're going to be thinking about it in length of time and speed. Okay. And then above barbell and dumbbell is then the gymnastics movements, which is a whole different category. And that one, we're talking a lot more about grip and shoulder stamina and all of that. So I won't go into that today because that's a lot more athlete specific, depending where you're at with your gymnastics. Okay, main takeaways. Number 1, make a list of bodyweight movements for you that top of the list is the ones that you need the least pacing for, that you can push hard all the way through and recover, all the way down to the ones where you need to be really sure on your pacing right from the start of the workout. Number 2, pay attention to dumbbell and barbell lifts. So test yourself with those Imam 10s based on the reps and the weight and see if you can fine tune a little bit of how you'll approach different workouts. And number 3 is take notes. So when you're a newer athlete, there's so many factors to keep in mind, and notes will really help you retain what you learned from the workout to put into practice the next time you have that workout. And of course, put your notes in your app so your coach can see it as well, and we can cheer you on and give you some pointers and some specific questions in regards to that. So hopefully you got some takeaway on how you will approach your workouts. At the end of the day, we just want to show up and work hard. But the more that we are mindful during our workouts, the more mature we can become as athletes and fine tune that pacing. All right, talk to you guys later.